So it really is an honor to introduce our next speaker, Mónica Villas. So she has over 2 decades of experience in the IT industry, and her journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. And Mónica was a former executive at IBM, and she witnessed firsthand the transformative power of technology in shaping businesses. Now, she is currently serving as a technical advisor and lecturer, and her passion for learning and teaching is palpable. So her expertise spans a wide spectrum from cloud and analytics to artificial intelligence and exponential technologies. She is a relentless learner, constantly staying at the forefront of technological advancements. So Mónica is not only an adept engineer, but also a fervent advocate for using technology to effect positive change in the world. Her remarkable ability to simplify complexity, coupled with her proficiency in problem solving and team coordination, sets her apart as a true leader in the field. So throughout her 15 years of leadership roles, Mónica's approach was defined by example setting. Her ability to inspire and guide her team led to a following that speaks volumes about her leadership prowess. So in Mónica's illustrious career, 3 pillars have been instrumental: people, perseverance, and passion. So today, Mónica Villas will address a topic of immense importance: the ethical challenges surrounding artificial intelligence. Her insights are sure to shed light on the critical considerations we all must bear in mind as we navigate the ever-evolving landscape of AI. Please join me in extending a very warm welcome to Mónica Villas. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the warm welcome and the presentation. Now you guess more or less what is my age, which is not always good with so much experience. So, well, happy to be here. I'm passionate about artificial intelligence. And I will start with a question. How many of you will like that artificial intelligence make summaries for you? Raise your hand. Okay. And how many of you would like that the same artificial intelligence is helping you with some writing? Okay. And how many of you would like to be hired by an artificial intelligence? So, exactly. So I think that this is exactly the issue. We are all here, and I see some of the topics sounds pretty technical, so I don't need to get into the details of the artificial intelligence. And you know that at the end, machine learning, if we go to the focus, is the technology that is learning from data. So if we are not using the right data, we are not learning the right things. So we are predicting wrong things. Or maybe not wrong things, but biased things. This is one of the things that happens some time ago, but not so long. It's 2018. It was, I suppose, that Amazon didn't want to come on the news, didn't want to damage their reputation, because they were only hiring men. What this was happening? This was happening because they were using natural language processing, they were using their bunch of data, and they were hiring more men than women. You don't only need to see the audience. The majority of the technical people is men. Unfortunately, I'm one of the one that have been in technology for a long time. But if you have this in your model are going to extend the bias as it's working automatically, right? So this is exactly what is the topic about. Artificial intelligence can help us in many things, but we should be careful in the answer that it is providing, because at the end, it is not a question of me designing the algorithms. I can put some bias in the design, because if I'm designing an algorithm that is selecting the best salesperson, I can decide the parameters which I'm considering. So, for example, for example, myself can some water if possible. So, so the thing is that if I decided that I'm going to consider the years of experience or the number of jobs this person has been, or maybe how much has been working or how long has been working in the different customer. But I can have some bias on the decision of the, let's say, the parameters I am considered. But I can have some bias as well with the data we were mentioning before. If I'm training, and we are talking about visual recognition today, depending on the data I'm training, this is the best accuracy is going to happen. I'm training with this kind of data. If I'm recognizing these different races or these different coming from different countries, this is what my algorithm is going to do when they are trying to generalize, right? But at the same time, we need to understand what is happening inside the black box or the white box. The white box is referring exactly to this kind of algorithms. Thank you so much. This kind of algorithms that are really easy to explain. The kind of rules maybe, or the kind of linear regression. On the contrary, we have the black boxes like all the neural network or the XGBoost, which are not really explainable. This is the kind of thing that we are we need to start working on what is happening, because any one of us would like to understand what is the decision that the algorithm is making. Is it an algorithm decision, or is there a person in the middle? Or if it's only the algorithms, can you explain what is happening inside these algorithms? For sure, with the black box, it's pretty difficult. We all have seen ChatGPT or whatever other version of the Gen AI. Is very, very difficult with neural network, with billions of parameters to understand what the decision inside. But when it is affecting things like hiring, medical decision, or any other things, imagine you are requesting a loan and you want to understand what is happening. This is exactly the concept. So this is representing a company, ex-Soya, in Russia that were firing people. And it was not a person firing people. It was an AI tool firing the people through the mail. We all have KPIs in our jobs. We need to measure. We have a person, a manager that is providing us feedback at the end of the year, in the middle of the year. But this was really done through an algorithms. So imagine ex-Soya is a company developing video games. So you put maybe some metrics on the developing, on how many codes, or how long the code sits, or how good the codes the developers is doing. And the algorithms took kind of metrics, and then suddenly people were fired. So any one of us in the room, I'm sure, want to be fired by an algorithms. Either you don't want to be hired by an algorithms. So this is the question that we should be answering, is the way we are using artificial intelligence. And we all know as well that artificial intelligence can be helping people to design kind of fake news, and it's very, very difficult to distinguish the reality. Oh, it doesn't.
Jane is a deep fake. Deepfakes are realistic AI-generated videos.
Okay, so I put again.
Doing.
Okay. Thank you.
Here's how to make the perfect pour-over coffee. First,
this is Jane.
water to 200 degrees.
Jane is a deepfake. Deepfakes are realistic AI-generated videos that show real people doing and saying fictional things. Current deepfake detection methods can identify telltale signs like boundary artifacts, shadow inconsistency, or double eyebrows. But the technology to produce deepfakes is rapidly evolving, so we need to work on building more advanced techniques to detect when videos have been altered. One of the biggest limitations is the lack of a realistic data set that can be used to test out new detection technologies. So Facebook is commissioning a first-of-its-kind data set using paid actors for the AI community to use. It's part of the Deepfake Detection Challenge. Our hope is that by helping the AI community come together, we can anticipate challenges of this emerging technology.
And voila, you have your perfect pour-over coffee. Enjoy.
Well, this is an example. It's only a recipe. It's not a real person, but it's really, really difficult to distinguish that. You all work with images, you know that, which images are real, which not. So it's all done by artificial intelligence. That's why we need to put the ethics in the middle to try to understand what is right, what is wrong. At the end, the ethics in everything try that you think about what is the right thing to do. This is not mathematical. This is not 2 + 2 is 4. Normally, the ethical decision is just in the balance on the gray area. So, but we all know what is really right and normally, or maybe we can have several of the solution, but it's thinking how the technology, how AI can help me, but the impact that the usage of the technology is having. If we come back to the way that artificial intelligence is designed, you can see in the chart that here you have an autonomous system, a semi-autonomous system that is the one that you see the data, you see the decision is being taken, but there is someone in the middle just reviewing the decision. Imagine the typical case where you have some tumor detection, some medical disease, and then the doctor is the one that is the human in the loop. The doctor is at the end deciding. And artificial intelligence is helping a lot because the visual recognition is much better when artificial intelligence is in the middle. So it's complementing the knowledge of the doctor. It doesn't matter if we put a human on the loop that is not a doctor. If it's not a doctor, although we have a human in the middle, it's not going to be the one that is going to take the responsibility to decide, because we can have false positive, false negative. So, at the end, artificial intelligence is not 100% confidence. And the other option, the one that is more tricky, is the human on the loop. This kind of human that we has been designing, and the algorithms, the parameters, we tune the system, but at the end, the decision is being taken by the machine. So this is really where we need to, let's say, put more attention on it. Since the evolution of AI, the explosion, I think, the boom in the 2012 with AlphaGo, OpenAI, and all this kind of thing, let's say the growing of artificial intelligence has been just generating that many of the society, just universities, government, companies, has been developing what they call the principles of AI ethics. So they are based, some of them are based on the Asilomar principles. The Asilomar principles are based on the Asimov. The one on the robots is not damaging a person, and so on. And at the end, what you see in the colors is from different organizations, civil society, from companies, and so on. At the end, what they are trying to highlight is the way you should use artificial intelligence. You have over there what's going on with IBM, as for example, I was working there for a long time. So data belongs to its creator. The purpose of AI is to increase human intelligence, not to augment. But you see some others from companies like Microsoft or like Google. You see privacy, you see be accountable, responsible. So this is the kind of principles that at the end are, let's say, helping us to try to avoid that the technology or the AI in this sense is just damaging us. So we need to keep on the autonomy or protecting us in some sense. So at the end, the ethical principles are those who are helping us to preserve people's rights and really without holding back technological innovation. At the end, when we talk about ethics, some people think that ethics is stopping innovation, but it's on the contrary. I like to use a good example when you are driving a car, the brakes can be the ethics, but the ethics is not, let's say, breaking the velocity. At the end, if you you are driving and the speed is very, very high or much higher that you can control, then you can decrease the speed. So this is one example I like to share every time. What you see here is there is not any general agreement on the principle of AI because there are a bunch of principles that all are important at the same level, but they can be grouped in different 4 categories, and this is a good agreement on that. This is a link you can get into. It's an automatic tool that is reading all the documents around principles and grouping all of them in the 4 categories. You see the benefit for human people, don't damage or don't create any issue, no harm, autonomy, and the other is justice. So this is a good bunch of grouping these principles. And what has been happening in the last years about this? That, well, we have, in 2020, we have some agreement between the big companies of IBM, Amazon, and Microsoft. They stop some of the developing in visual recognition because they were creating some racial issues in US. So they decided to stop and to trying to train better all these kind of algorithms. So in UNESCO last year, they were coming with some principles around the world, 178 countries signing the document on like privacy, respecting privacy. Privacy is maybe in Europe, the one that live in Europe, the GDPR is covering that. But some other principle like explainability or some other principle like responsibility are not covered on this law, for example. Then in US, it's not the same US, Europe, and China, but artificial intelligence is the same. It's not the same ethics all around the different countries because the ethics is normally very related to the geography. In China, you all know that they have kind of social scoring. In US, they don't have any kind of regulation on the AI, and they are not planning. But they are thinking that because of ethics is something that is important for the customer, they can still change their mind in the. This is from last year, the end of last year, so important to understand. For the ones of you that don't know, this is ethics and regulation coming together. This is the regulation, the AA Act, that's what is being done in Europe around artificial intelligence. So you see in the number 1, you see the systems that are going to be prohibited. In the second, some example is like social scoring. Just you go on the street and then that they are labeling you like they are doing in China. And if you are not behaving well and you are requesting something to your country or to the public, you are requesting some help, some public help, you are not being provided because you are not a good citizen. This is the kind of thing that is happening in China, and in Europe, this is completely forbidden. And you have high risk, which are exactly for hiding, we're talking about, or exactly for medical disease. And then the other one, you need to provide some explainability. Explainability, we talk about that in neural network. It has been evolving a lot, the techniques explaining what is happening on these black boxes with LIM, with SHAP, with other algorithms to explain complexity. And to finish, I don't like you to take the message that artificial intelligence is not good enough. It depends on how you use it. So, for example, when they starting on 2018 or 2018, they starting with the ODS. There are many of them that are being held by artificial intelligence regarding the climate, regarding the way that we are cleaning the sea, or regarding pollution, or is helping as well. I don't know if you know the AlphaFold project. You know, you are familiar with the AlphaFold project and the proteins. So I think this is a very good opportunity for AI to help the society, and in a very ethical way. At the same time, it's not only an ethical way of doing things. This is something from Capgemini. some companies are starting to consider seriously the kind of AI ethics. And if you are behaving with this AI ethics, your NPS is 44 more times than the one in the companies that are not doing. And 60% of the customers are more attractive for companies that are using AI in the right way. And well, just my really, this is something when I left IBM in 2019. It's a kind of NGO. Odisea is this NGO that is Observatorio de Impacto Social, Inteligencia Artificial. In English is just trying to take care of the social impact, because artificial intelligence, we were 10 people initially 2 years ago, and now we are around 300 people and this customer together. So we are trying to influence on that ethics being used in all the customer. And let's say, just to finish, it is not an easy thing. It's a very easy thing to say that you need to have the privacy in the data, you need to be responsibility, or you need to explain the results, but it's very difficult to operationalize. You have seen the principle of Amazon, IBM, this kind of principle, but it's not so easy to go down to the organization and to extend this principle on the organization. I think one of the most important is the principle of responsibility. It's not only that is by legislation. We all are part of the designing of AI, and we need to be concerned about that. AI ethics require including ethics from the design. Remember at the beginning, if I want to, there are many stakeholders in the design of a solution with AI, or let's say an algorithm. So let's say an AI system. From maybe the business person, the data scientist, the person that is deploying, but the majority of them are more focused, maybe on the business, maybe on the technical thing, but any of them forgetting the point about ethics. It's very interesting. It's very, very easy to embed the ethics from the design that trying to fix later on that you see in Amazon. And of course, there is analysis is important since the beginning, and the tools helps, but do not make the job for us. And I always like to put you some documentation on that. This is a handbook about ethics. I was co-writing with another author. It's a handbook about ethical applying to about ethics applying to artificial intelligence. You have a link to IEEE that is very, very helpful. This is especially interesting if you are working with explainability in your black box model, and this is something we published from Odisea regarding that. So, and just to finish, I like a lot the sentence from Alan Turing saying we can see a little bit of the future, but enough to realize that there is a lot left to do. So, thank you very much.
Fabulous stuff. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was utterly fascinating.